It is my honor to introduce Janice Varzari. Connected to the University of Lethbridge for greater than 30 years, Janice Varzari has been a steadfast ambassador for U Lethbridge throughout her many roles, from student to alumnus, senator, board member, and chancellor. With a personal approach focused on enhancing the student experience, Varzari and her husband most recently funded and helped establish the Student Wellness Ambassador Program, a student-led wellness initiative aimed at developing peer connections and promoting wellness. As a staff nurse, nursing educator, assessment nurse, and mental health counselor, she has greatly contributed to the Southern Alberta community. For her dedication to enhancing the profile of the university and establishing a legacy of student support, the University of Lethbridge is proud to confer upon Janice Varzari the degree of Doctor of Laws, honoris causa. I invite Janice Varzari to address the graduates.
Eminent Chancellor, President Mann, Board Chair Schlachter, honored guests, family, friends, and most importantly, graduates. It is a great honor for me to address the University of Lethbridge graduating class, spring 2021. These are different times. When you reflect upon your university education, I imagine it began similarly to past graduates of the University of Lethbridge. You attended orientation and many fun new student activities. You met new people and developed friendships. You may have got a part-time job. You attended classes, you got to know your professors, and you became engaged in the university community. But I know that you finished your university education with a very different experience than any class before you. You mastered Zoom. You attended classes and meetings virtually. You missed out on social connections and gatherings. You were forced to stay informed and comply with the many changing public health restrictions and safe practices. You may have lost your part-time job. The last year and a half of your university education was not easy. You faced many unique challenges, but you survived and you earned your university degree. Congratulations to you all. This is an accomplishment in so-called normal times, but even much more so in these unprecedented times. So what did you learn? Stepping back and looking at the overall picture of your time here at the University of Lethbridge, I know, having been a student there myself, you learned so much. And importantly, that learning went beyond the content of the many courses you took, the assignments and projects you completed, the tests you studied for. You are wiser in so many other ways. For example, not knowing. You likely discovered that not knowing is not a weakness. I recall I didn't really believe this starting out my post-secondary studies. At times we humans, well, I for one, may try to hide our not knowing in order to appear confident or competent. When I started my university education, my constant self-talk was, if they only knew the real me, they wouldn't think I was competent. So I may have had to pretend a little bit. As I progressed through my own education, I came to learn, much like you may have learned, that hiding behind an appearance of all-knowing stifles curiosity. Going public with not knowing is actually daring and brave. And amazingly, I began to discover that not knowing opened up the door to so much discovery. Another example, asking for help. You may have learned that asking for help is not a weakness. In fact, I bet you likely discovered that asking for help was an opportunity for you to enrich the learning for yourself and for the others around you. as well as this permits the vulnerability that is required for human connection. Another example, taking risks and making mistakes. I know you all made mistakes, and surely you took risks. As uncomfortable as this was, taking risks allowed you to challenge your beliefs and thinking. Making mistakes, advanced conversations, permitting them to become deeper and more creative. Every time you took a risk, it became less scary. Every mistake you made became less consequential and easier to move past. My final example, there is no right answer. Some of you, like me, may have started university with the belief similar to mine. There is a right answer or a right way to get to the answer. And I suspect you, like me, were searching for that right answer or right path, only to discover, to your surprise, that there actually are many answers, many choices, many paths. You have learned that it's not really about finding the right answer, but about finding good questions in order to expand your knowledge. In sum, these are a few examples of the learnings, among others, I expect you have gained here at the University of Lethbridge. I am confident from this point forward, you will take all that you've learned, both content and process, and continue to build upon it. I have had much time to reflect upon what I wanted to say to you, the convocating class of 2021. There have been many iterations of my message, but one sustaining thought I would like to share with you in closing is from A.A. Milne's Winnie the Pooh. And it is what Christopher Robin, a school-aged boy, said to Winnie the Pooh, the stuffed bear who wanted to become real. Christopher Robin says, "Promise me you will remember. You are braver than you believe, stronger than you feel, and smarter than you think. Your successful completion of your University of Lethbridge degree demonstrates that you indeed are braver than you believed, stronger than you felt, and smarter than you thought you were on day one of your university education. My sincere congratulations to each and every one of you. You have a very promising future.